Creativity is an addiction. Oh, I say that. I also live it because every one of us deal with creativity. We're either using somebody's creativity or we've got creativity that's being used by others. It's one gigantic big circle, and we're not getting any sleep, and we're not thinking straight. We're not putting things in their proper places. It's an addiction. Unplug, because we will always say yes to creativity. Totally uncut, because we all make mistakes. So turn it into a tool. This is Arroe Unplugged. Hey, whoa, hey, what's going on? How you doing? Where you been? The question is, where have I been, right? Man, waking up to a screaming bird, that is a daily test. I don't know if you have birds in your house, but when they are not in the mood for the human being, they will let you know about it. See, the thing is that I spoil my animals. Or, wait a second, maybe they're spoiling me. But I know that there's a relationship there, and I know that it's a lot of special togetherness, companionship, but it doesn't always blend perfectly. And isn't that really what a family is all about? The bumps, the grinds, disconnections, and misunderstood reasons for so many changes in the season? But when my Blue Crown conure Ernie is in the mindset of sounding off, you tend to spend the morning reminding yourself that I too am a noisemaker in the way that I speak, or maybe the way that I turn on the television or I listen to music. Maybe he's going, for crying out loud, dude, what are you doing? See, that's the part of the understanding, being available to respect each other's space. Ernie's home overlooks this beautiful forest in South Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm sure in his tiny little mind, he believes that he is the king of that jungle. High atop on his perch, he speaks not to me, but to the animal kingdom below. Like a rooster at sunrise on a farm somewhere lost in the state of Montana or Wyoming. In that window up there is King Ernie. Hey, it's Arroe. This is The Daily Mess, a chronological walk through an everyday world. I am a daily writer. I love to write about anything. Just anything. And that's been the challenge, because when you first jump into journaling, what happens is it's me. And you realize, wait a second, there's a lot of other things that make up what becomes me. Why don't we write about all the other elements and see what happens in the middle? This is The Daily Mess. We struggle to get through our only days off to do what? Because I'm talking about you. We struggle to get through our only days off only to do what? Fill them with more things to do. We are all so incredibly guilty of this. So much has stacked up, and getting through all of these expectations, you know what's going to happen? We're going to want another year-long lockdown. Then again, even during that first lockdown, did you get anything done? Really? Seriously? The issue with most people is we can't say no. We don't want to miss out. Which is what I heard my entire childhood. My parents wanted us in bed very early, and their go-to line was, "You're not going to miss anything." See, I don't pretend to put myself in false worlds, mainly because I don't have the time to do that. We've always got to be somewhere. But I don't know if the reason why we're planning is because we're in that fear of, well, I could be missing out on something. It's more of an attempt to mop up messes made by past decisions that weren't properly thought out. So I keep telling myself. What is your excuse? Why do you keep planning things out? That Google Calendar has one blank space on it, and you're freaking out. You got to do something. I was talking with Mike Smith and Cubs today. They've collaborated with Stunner, and here's the thing. Part of the conversation was based 100% on their creative space, the time that they really are connected to the universe of music. And it's 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. That's their zone. See, and that's what's really interesting about being a creative mind. We're all creative people. You just have decided to call it something else or identify it as something else. But in every breath you take, someone is watching you. It's you. You making the determination of how you're going to present yourself in the real world, when in fact it all starts right here on the inside of you. We struggle to get to our only days off only to fill them with what? More things to do. Because we think we've got that time. And then what happens is that you put yourself in a position where the things you need to get done are set aside so far away that to get to them is an impossibility. Then you start holding yourself accountable by making yourself feel guilty. You shame yourself. You say things to yourself. It's like, I'm this big loser. I had a girl yesterday that looked at me and said, I'm 3 days late on my rent. I was supposed to be in here 4 or 5 days ago, but I just kept saying, I'll get around to it. And she never did. Now she has to pay a penalty for being late. We fill our days up because we have a fear of missing out. I'm Arroe, and that's the Daily Mess.